Hello, hello, my lovely, beautiful Pisces. Welcome back to the channel today. If you are new here, hello, my name is Ashley, and I am the reader here at Wildly Ashley. Thank you so much for your understanding for the late video posting. I apologize for being late posting this video. I usually try to stay on my schedule as much as I can. However, it ended up working out for the best because we have some sort of stomach bug going around in my house right now. And me being able to rest during the day meant that I was able to actually be there and have the energy to help take care of my youngest overnight while they were sick. So, you know, it all ended up working out for the best, even though in the moment it was very painful and uncomfortable. You know, it ended up working out for the better, and so I will be grateful for the bits that I have, and I'm grateful that I have this community and this job where I do have the ability to postpone things for my health as needed, because, you know, we all have our sick days, we all have health problems sometimes, so, you know, I feel very grateful that I'm in a space where I can do that, and I'm very grateful to have you guys as an audience that are very understanding about making space for these things when they happen. So thank you so much for your understanding for posting late. I apologize, and I really am going to try better in the future to schedule things better so that this doesn't happen again. But, you know, we are only human at the end of the day. Stuff happens, people get sick, and thank you for your understanding about that. So, enough about me, Pisces. We're going to go ahead and get started on your reading here. It looks like a very good reading for you. There is a lot of victory. We have, you know, some fun with partners or people within our lives, finding good community, working really hard towards things. So, let's go ahead and get started. We'll start unpacking all of this as we go along. Pisces, we're starting off your reading with the King of Cups. Pisces, you are a water sign. The King of Cups are associated with water energy, you know, of course. That's probably the easiest suit of the tarot to figure out what the element association is. But yes, cups are associated with water energy, and I feel like Pisces, this is you in your energy at this time. The King of Cups is like the ultimate manifestation of water. This is the ultimate manifestation of somebody who honors their emotions without letting their emotions control them. When you look at this card, you can see that this person is standing here within the waves, and the waves are meant to represent our emotions. This person's not being knocked over by the waves, they're not being, you know, pushed around, they're not drowning within the waves. Instead, they're standing there very calmly. The waves are moving around them, but it is not moving them specifically. So, it's meant to say that this person is stable, they have a very good foundation, and they don't allow themselves to be pushed or swayed by their emotions, but they're also not trying to control their emotions. They're not trying to put them in a tiny box, right? They're not trying to shove their emotions away from them or keep themselves separate. Instead, they are wading in them. They are, you know, ankle deep in their emotions, knee deep in their emotions, still connected with them enough to understand and respect the messages that our emotions are communicating to us. So Pisces, I feel like you're really in your best energy at this time. I feel like you're really in this space of healthy emotions, healthy boundaries, and having a very good connection with the emotional side of you. Let's move on to your next card here, Pisces. You have the Six of Cups in reverse on Tuesday, the next day here. Sometimes this is about looking at things through rose-colored glasses, kind of idealizing things and not necessarily being truthful about the exact situations behind things. But Pisces, looking at the rest of your cards here, I feel like what this is about is choosing not to recognize maybe areas of your life that could use a little bit more. A part of you may be ignoring some warning signs or ignoring maybe some uncomfortable feelings or little pieces of like your intuition saying that, hey, something's not quite right here. I feel like, you know, things feel pretty good for you right now. Things feel pretty happy and celebratory, but I feel like there's maybe something here that, you know, we might end up uncovering it as we go on further in the reading, but I feel like there is something here that maybe a part of you recognizes is something that's not 100% what it's made out to be, or nothing, or that it's not what it was intended to be, or that maybe you realize you've been kind of idealizing this situation or even maybe a person within your life, and it's not exactly all that it's cut out to be. So let's keep going. As I said, we might uncover what that is as we go along. Moving on to Wednesday, though, Pisces, you have the Six of Wands, which is celebrating victory. So there could be some sort of victory here that you're celebrating. Could be a move, could be a new job or a raise and promotion. Whatever the case may be here, Pisces, you are celebrating. You are feeling very within your power, feeling very capable and confident about moving forward, getting these things taken care of. Pisces, congrats, celebration, something going good for you, celebrating your wins when you have them. It's all very good energy. Celebrating the things that you do have, the things that you accomplished for yourself. Thursday here, you move on to the Two of Cups. So this kind of we talked about a little bit in the beginning. This is, positive partnership. So for those of you who are with a partner, this could be a day where you two feel very connected and in tune with each other. For those of you who are, single and not with a partner, this can also be not just a romantic partner, but this can be a friend, this can be a close family member or person around you, maybe even a coworker for some of you, that you have a very good friendship and you're able to see and recognize and have a good time with each other, other than just romantic partnerships, right? So reveling in your friendship, having a good time, definitely celebrating one-on-one victory as opposed to, overall victory with this. Moving on to Friday here, you have Temperance in reverse. So this does come with a little bit of a warning, Pisces. If you are celebrating with friends or if you are celebrating a victory, try not to take it too over the top. Try not to go too overboard with your celebrating. It's kind of about self-control, and it's also about discernment. And discernment is about knowing what is right and wrong, knowing what is good versus not good for you. Discernment is also kind of like discipline, so making sure that we are taking care of things that need taken care of, and that we are putting our energy towards things that are important, that we're taking care of our responsibilities. So Temperance in reverse showing up on Friday, you may feel very resistant to your responsibilities at this time. You may find that you don't want to take the time to do the hard stuff because it's much more fun to revel in this celebratory energy than it is to make sure that you're taking care of things. So it does come with an air of caution about it, Pisces. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself. Make sure that you are taking care of the important things. And from there, you should be good. Meet this resistance where it is and get curious about where it's coming from. Then we move on and you have the 8 of Pentacles on Saturday and the 9 of Pentacles on Sunday. So we really like to see that progression. It means that things are moving in a good direction for you and that you are making positive moves in the direction of this growth. So let's start with Saturday. Out of those two, we have the 8 of Pentacles. This shows here, Pisces, that you are working on something. So, you could be celebrating a victory on something that you have been working on for a very long time. As you can see with this 8 of Pentacles, this person here is creating something. They are doing some sort of art here. So they are putting in their time, energy, effort, resources into building something. We can tell that they've put in a lot of practice because there's lots of other pieces of art hanging around this person while they are currently working on a project. So it's the dedication, it's the showing up every single day, regardless of whether it's a good day or a bad day, to make sure that things are taken care of. Pisces, you could have been putting in the work for this thing for a very, very long time. And the 8 of Pentacles can sometimes be like getting back to work. So yes, you had your celebration, but some of you are getting back to work about furthering this project, seeing where things go, realizing that, you finished and completed one thing, but maybe there's still some uncompleted work along the way that still needs taken care of. And that moves us on to the 9 of Pentacles. And this one is really good. This is talking about prosperity, abundance. This is the person who, is able to retire, revel in their riches here. I'm not saying that you'll be able to retire this Saturday, Pisces, but, maybe some of you, maybe some Pisces here are retiring. But this card is about reaping the rewards. You know, you spent all this time, effort, and energy putting into something, putting in the work, showing up on the hard days, and, you know, showing up with dedication. And this is the reward that you get out of it. You get this prosperity. And with this peacock here, it's about recognition. So not only are you working hard, but you're also receiving some sort of recognition for the work that you've been doing. So we love to see that. We love to see victories. We love to see the recognition for the things that we have accomplished. Which brings us into week 2 here, Pisces, which is pretty interesting looking week. Looking at it right here. We're going to go ahead and get started with week 2. We'll start to process, uncover whatever this is that's going on. On Monday for week 2 here, Pisces, you have the Death card in reverse. Remember how we were talking about that 6 of Cups in reverse? How it's this rose-colored glasses of, you know, not quite being realistic or upfront about what is actually going on. I feel like that's where this Death card in reverse leads us. So Pisces, you are celebrating something, but there is also something here that needs to leave, that needs to be done. It could be some of you are carrying around an expired energy, something that is no longer relevant within your life, but you still find that you are carrying some sort of weight from this thing. You have leveled up. You have this King of Cups for your first card. I feel like a lot of you have leveled up into a new stage, into a new level of being. A lot of you have upgraded yourself personally, have upgraded your thoughts and feelings and beliefs. And I feel like, you know, you are celebrating that. But I feel like the Death card in reverse here is saying that some of this celebration can maybe come from like avoiding this ending, avoiding something being done. So I feel like you have upgraded into this being, but you haven't quite gotten rid of everything that is keeping you stuck in the past or keeping you stuck in the old way of doing things. So, for example, right, some of you may have made a really big breakthrough lately about handling your emotions, since, you know, we are dealing with cups. And a lot of you are celebrating this very big accomplishment, and I don't want to diminish this accomplishment. You know, I think that it's important. But I feel like some of this accomplishment, you know, I feel like there's still some more stuff that has to be done, some more stuff that has to be let go of or uncovered. And I feel like some of you may be kind of avoiding it. And I say avoiding because, you know, we had that 6 of Cups in reverse. It's idealizing. It's looking at things through rose-colored glasses and not necessarily being truthful with yourself about what is going on in this particular situation. You know, we had the Temperance in reverse, which is about making sure that we are taking care of, you know, the things that need taken care of and that are important. So it's very possible that, you know, maybe you leveled up in one area of your life, but you still are recognizing that there's a little bit more of unfinished business that has to be done. Maybe there's some old habits or beliefs that need to be left behind so that you can fully accept and move into this new area for yourself. It's such an interesting energy because also I feel like, you know, our healing journey and the things that we believe, healing is never a destination, right? We're never going to just wake up one day and be healed. It's one of those things that is a journey. It's a continual process of learning. And so I feel like, you know, getting attached to this idea of a destination, of having 100%, you know, completed healing or whatever the case may be, I don't think we ever actually reach this 100% point. And so, you know, it's a continual process. It's a continual learning thing. And so I feel like for some of you, that's what's going on, is that maybe you're expecting that now that you've reached this piece of yourself, now that you have come to terms with something, that it's never going again to come back into your life, or that it's never going to be seen in your upcoming future. And I think that, you know, we expect it to be something that's gone forever, but it actually isn't. It's something that we kind of have to continue to process and deal with. And, you know, it does get easier over time, but it's never something that goes away 100%. That's kind of what I'm getting. The message isn't for everybody. Take what resonates, drop what doesn't. Your next card on Tuesday here, Pisces, moving on, is the Princess of Cups. So we had the King of Cups for your first card, and this is the Princess of Cups. So this is about imagination. This is about trusting your intuition, allowing it to guide you, being in touch with your emotions, but this is also, the Princess of Cups has curiosity. The Princess of Cups they haven't yet been burned by the world, right? So they have kind of this innocence about them in a way of like not knowing what you don't know. And this allows them to dream and to view things from a completely different place than, the King of Cups, who has lots more experience and lots more ideas about, the way that the world works and the way that things go. So I feel like the Princess of Cups, this could be saying that some of you need to get in touch with your innocence, get in touch with your creativity, your inner child for some of you, allowing yourself to be vulnerable. And I feel like this is kind of more the energy that needs to be embodied for you at this time. Pisces, I feel like, the King of Cups, maybe, I almost feel like this is how you want to see yourself. This is what you're aiming for and the goal that you're trying to reach. And the Princess of Cups is actually kind of more where you're at for some of you. So I feel like, getting realistic about how you are viewing yourself. I feel like the Princess of Cups is a bit more of that realistic view for yourself, Pisces. Moving on to Wednesday, Pisces, you have the Lovers card in reverse. This card is always pretty interesting to me because I'm a Gemini and the Lovers is the card for Gemini. So, a little bit of self-obsession there for me. I'm not perfect. I'm a human being, right? And so this card, right, sometimes it can be about partnership. It can be about, I think just putting this card as like, ooh, you're having relationship problems. I think that kind of, really takes down what this card truly can mean for some people, or what it kind of takes the definition for this card and brings it down into a very small box. And I feel like this can have so much more meaning than just, relationship problems. This card, the Lovers card, and the Two of Cups are very similar cards to each other. They both deal with partnership. They both deal with, seeing people for who they are. But the Lovers card actually has associations with our intuition and associations with being led, being divinely guided by fate itself. The Lovers are brought together by the fate of the universe, the hand of the divine, whatever it is that you believe. They are brought together by an outside force, and they find and they meet each other through crazy circumstances sometimes. You hear those love stories about people being in the right place at the right time because they're being divinely guided towards this other person. So Pisces, some of you could be in this space of trying or desiring to be divinely led towards a partner. For others, this card can also mean that you need to take time to recognize your inner self. When we look at these flamingos, right, they're kind of a reflection. They're meant to be two separate flamingos, but who's to say that that's not just one flamingo looking at themselves, right? Looking at their reflection, being in touch with their highest self. And so it can also mean that, at this time you feel very disconnected from your highest self, or that you are viewing yourself in a way that maybe isn't 100% in alignment with your highest self. And actually, on that card from the day before with the Princess of Cups here, you can see that there's some very slight color similarities here. So I feel like, this is definitely about seeing yourself for who you are, especially since we had that disconnect between the Princess and the King of Cups here. That disconnect between how you view yourself and who you are, what is actually going on. So, for some of you, I feel like this is needing to look deep and get clear about who you are on the inside, reconnecting with your truest self. Moving on to Thursday here, Pisces, you have the Justice card in reverse. So this is interesting to me because you have the Lovers in reverse and then the Justice in reverse. And actually, they kind of mirror each other a little bit. You have two sides here with the Lovers, and then you have, the two sides here with the scales of the Justice card. So some of you aren't giving yourself enough justice for the work that you've put in, the things that you have been through and accomplished and achieved. For others, I feel like some of you may be struggling with feelings of injustice, feeling as though, things aren't going the way that you want them to within your life. It's such an interesting reading today because I feel like this first week is all about you just, reveling in your accomplishments, being proud and happy for the things that you have achieved. And I feel like week 2 is kind of like the darker uncovering of these things. It feels like the unseen side about it. Pisces, I feel like a lot of you are having really big self-doubt about what you can accomplish. I also feel like a lot of you may be kind of like putting on this front or putting on this face of being really successful, but on the inside you have a lot of insecurity about the things that you've actually achieved or how you've gotten here in the first place. The Justice card in reverse, some of you may be thinking that you didn't actually put in the work, but that, things moved in your favor in an unfair way to other people around you, and maybe some of you feel guilty about that. But Pisces, I feel like that's also you just not giving yourself enough credit as well. Not giving yourself enough credit for the things that you do achieve. Don't diminish your accomplishments, Pisces. Pisces, on Friday for week 2, you move on to the Six of Swords in reverse. This is about letting things go. This is about allowing things to move onward from you, to move through you, becoming a part of your past as opposed to allowing it within your present. And, again, along the lines of color similarities, look at how similar this color is to the card here with the King of Cups. So I feel like some of you need to let go this idea. Ooh, yeah. Some of you need to let go of this idea of a perfect you or a perfect being. I'm starting to feel more like this King of Cups is an idealized version of yourself, Pisces. It's who you think you should be or who you feel as though you're supposed to be. And the Six of Swords in reverse is saying this isn't really who you are, and you need to kind of let this old mindset of who you should be go. You need to let it go, allow it to move away from you, because with that Princess of Cups that you had earlier in week 2, I feel like this is a little bit more in alignment with who you really are, Pisces. I feel like part of you wants to be this or come across as this really put together person, and I feel like it's a unrealistic goal point. You're never going to be 100% perfect because we are humans. Things are never going to be 100% what we expect them to be, and I think instead of trying to fit yourself into this box of what a perfect person should look like, Pisces, I think some of you need to let these old ideas and expectations for yourself go. Let's talk about your last 2 cards here, Pisces. You have the Princess of Swords for Saturday and then the Eight of Swords for Sunday. So, swords are our thinking, our thoughts, ideas, beliefs. They are the logic and reasoning that goes on within our mind. And the Princess of Swords is someone who is a daydreamer. This is someone who thinks very deeply. They find themselves lost in thought a lot because they are thinking. They are preparing for movement, for moving forward. They have these really big, grand ideas about the things that they want. Although the Princess of Swords also doesn't necessarily have this movement with them. They may have these big ideas, but they're more of on the dreamer side and not necessarily the doer side. Pisces, I feel like some of you here, what's going on is that you are kind of in this daydreaming place of thinking about all these things that you want, thinking about all these people that you want to be. And I feel like the Princess of Swords is saying that you need to dream up a new dream for yourself. You need to come up with some new ideas for who you are, new ideas for who you think you should be, cutting away all the BS of the things that you think you should be, and allowing yourselves to look towards a new future, a new idea of who you could be, essentially reinventing yourself. And that goes with our last card here for week 2. Your last card here, Pisces, is the Eight of Swords, which is about freeing yourself from self-imposed restrictions. When you look at this card, you see that this person has a blindfold. They have these, handcuffs tied around their wrists. I'll bring it in really close so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about here. But you see that this person has, some restraints on them. And they're surrounded by all these swords, which is meant to say that in their mind, this person is surrounded by danger. This person is surrounded by, things that could hurt them, anxiety about the things that could possibly go wrong. But they're also blind with that blindfold on. They're blinded to the reality of what is actually going on, which is that there is way less swords around them than what they believe. When they're blind, things can feel a lot more scary. It's kind of like in the dark as a kid, seeing the shadows on the wall only to turn on the light and find out it was a shadow from a jacket, right? Instead of a monster in your closet. So I feel like, some of us think we have monsters in the closet, or that there's really a lot more scary things going on than there really actually is. And some of us need to illuminate. We need to free ourselves from our blindfold. We need to remove it and allow ourselves to see things for what it actually is. And Pisces, I feel like you need to not only see yourself for who you actually are on the inside, I think you also need to free yourself from the restraints of this box that you're trying to put yourself in, this box of perfection. Because as I said, we are human beings and we are imperfect beings. We do not have perfection within ourselves. And so trying to live up to this idea of perfection, you're never going to accomplish it. You're never going to be a perfect or 100% fully healed and idealized human, because that's just not what we're here to do. Instead, Pisces, understanding that your imperfections can be the things that make you who you are. Your imperfections can be some of the most beautiful things about you. Your imperfections are nothing to be ashamed of. And in fact, they are, some of the most humanizing aspects of people. People don't want to see a perfect human being. They want to see the person that helps them feel more like themselves, right? They don't want to see the perfect human who has perfect house, perfect life, 2.5 kids, married, a dog with a car, and the perfect job. All those things can look cool, but in reality, a lot of those people are unhappy because they're living up for expectations that don't align with who they are. Pisces, that is where we're going to leave you for your reading this week. I hope that this was able to help you in some way, that you were able to gain some guidance or insight from this reading. So if you did, please feel free to give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below if you did. Once again, thank you so much for being here today, Pisces, and I look forward to seeing you all again in the next video.